All right, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers, Mukluk here. Today is July 9th. It is Wednesday, and we got some Guild Wars 2 news. Today comes with a new teaser for the Elite specs coming out in the next expansion. Real quick TLDR for anyone who's not been paying attention. Next Tuesday, they're announcing the next expansion. We know that expansion comes out in October. We know it comes with new Elite specializations, and they've been having fun dropping little teaser images on social media. Today's teaser image is... what is that? A knife! No! It's a knife. So we got that right there. So the question now is, what is it? What is it? What can we learn from this knife? And I've got a collection of thoughts here. Some were from me, some were from the community on the live stream, because I'm live right now. Some were from the Reddit post, stuff like that. So we're going to talk about this image here and what we think it could be. So here we go. First thought is assassin. Oh, I need to pause my alerts. Hello, Moeki. Thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. So, first thought is Assassin. Assassin was in Guild Wars 1, and it is extremely similar to Guild Wars 2 Thief, but there is some stuff that, from the Guild Wars 1 Assassin that never made it over to the Guild Wars 2 Thief. Maybe they're bringing over those things. If they bring over the Assassin, what would that add to Thief? And I'm focusing on Thief right now because I think if anyone's getting Assassin, it's Thief. More combos like what the Spear has, where you have many different skills that flip over and do different chains. The Assassin, my understanding, is that he or she had quite a lot of those. One person in my chat wrote the following. Assassin main here from Guild Wars 1. Thieves in Guild Wars 2 have skills based already on Critical Strike, Shadow Arts, and Dagger Mastery, but nothing from the Guild Wars 1 Deadly Arts category. Also, in Assassin for Guild Wars 1, we predominantly focused on Deadly Arts and Shadow Arts for the endgame. End quote. So maybe it is one of those things. One person said Rev. Yeah, everyone on everything's saying Rev. Ever since I said that Revenant's a wild card because they can just focus on any legend, everyone's like, oh my god, Rev's getting a 6th new Elite spec. I don't think it's Rev because they already have an Assassin stance, which is Shiro. But if they got a second Assassin stance, maybe they could get Nika, the lady from the box art that helped kill Shiro. And then Shiro would be trapped in the Revenant just pouting with the the Alliance guys and also Nika, and they're just, and then they're all just in there beating him up for eternity. That would be kind of funny. I don't think that's actually going to happen, though. Another thought, if it is Assassin and it is going to Thief, then who's getting that deck of cards? So we had this one previously, and I said, my thoughts were that's Thief. Because I was like, if anyone's getting a gambly luck thing, that's got to be the Thief, right? Like, it's in the job description. They like swindling and stealing money. But let's pretend that's Assassin, and that is going to Thief. Who the heck is getting the cards? Now, we thought maybe that's an initiative point. It could also just be the Suite of Diamonds. But there's 3 cards. One person guessed, what if it's like the 3 virtues for a Guardian, and they're getting some weird tarot power. Maybe, someone else, guessed that it could be like the Arcanist from FF14, which I have not played, but it apparently uses card magic, so it could be an Elementalist thing. So I've seen some guesswork on that as well. Moving on to the other thoughts I had. What if this is not Assassin at all? That's all I've been talking about so far, is if it was Assassin. That also kind of looks like a Ritualist dagger from other franchises. It's got the really bent, impractical shape, unless you were trying to catch a sword like it was a sword breaker or something. But it looks more like a ceremonial thing. Maybe that's the icon for the Ritualist. We already know that the Necromancer is getting the Ritualist. You pulling up my thumbnail from yesterday. Every time they have shown new art for a new Necromancer specialization, there has been an Asura with green magic showing it. We have an Asura here wearing a Ritualist outfit from Guild Wars 1, summoning a spirit. Every time they have shown a warrior getting a new specialization, they have shown this big lad with bronze skin showcasing the new profession, and there's yellow behind him. Here he is again, looking like a Paragon. So it is all but guaranteed that Warrior's getting Paragon and Necromancer's getting Ritualist, but we don't know their icons. That could be the Ritualist icon. However, although Ritualists and many other forms of media have a big thing on like sacrifices and cultist type stuff, the Ritualist Guild Wars 1 were more about like just abusing spirits. I never really saw them do much with daggers, but I think it's within the realm of possibility that this could just be the Rit icon, and then that gets Necromancer off the board for our future guesswork. Possibly. It could be the weapon enhancement. True, they could do any weapon for that, but yeah, the Ritualist in Guild Wars 1 had a line of buffs on the party that would put an enchantment on their weapons that would do different things when they attacked. There was that. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but it did exist. So if that is the Ritualist icon, then we go back to what was the icon that had the orb with the 2 crescents floating around it that I thought could be Ritualist in the past. Could be something else. Could be the nuclear engineer we joked about recently. Let's see. A few folks said they thought it might be Ranger. I don't think it is, and I'll tell you why. They said that these new builds will not be tied to specific weapons. Ranger can only use main hand Dagger if they're a Soul Beast. Which means if you got this expansion and you didn't buy Path of Fire, you couldn't do this build with a Dagger, which is the whole class icon. Now, Ranger does have the offhand Dagger in their core trait line, but main hand Dagger is Soul Beast only, so I would be very surprised if this had anything to do with Ranger for that reason. So following that logic, if the new profession doesn't have baked-in weapons, who can use Dagger's baseline? Necromancer? We know they're getting Ritualist, so this could be Rit. Elementalist, Thief, and then the Ranger offhand. That's it. So if this class is going to be very good with daggers, and it's someone who already has daggers, it could be Necro Ellie Thief or the offhand Ranger. That is a possibility. There's a chance of it. I don't know. But yeah, we know the Necro is Rit. This could be Rit, or it could be something else entirely. Another cool quote that I saw from someone, I think this was on the Reddit. After some research, the knife appears to be a Chris. I mean, probably was a Google search, but which has connections to Java, probably, I don't know if that's Japanese or Javanese. Javanese culture originating from Indonesia. Javanese culture has some interesting martial arts associated with the Chris. Could this be monk specialization or ritualist? Assassin could just be a red herring here. Hang on a sec. I am going to pull up a picture here. So if I Google Chris, K-R-I-S, we do get some wiggly pointy knives that look like this. So there's quite a few here, but here are some examples on Google search. Then I wrote, if Ritualist, Paragon, and Assassin are coming, can we expect the other requested Guild Wars 1 classes that never made it to Guild Wars 2 to also be in this batch? Which are Monk and Dervish. Maybe. Monk is partially baked into the original Guardian. Dervish is kind of a whole separate thing. Dervish, we mentioned this, we touched on this in some previous videos, but the Dervish was a character that was really big on using a scythe, cleaving down hordes of enemies. They were really good at cleave. And like prayers to the human gods. So there could be something with that coming down the pipeline. Now, I don't think they're adding a new weapon type to the game, but they could have a kit for the scythe in the same way that Bladesworn has a kit for the gun saber. So I think it's completely possible that Dervish could come, and then they've got like an F1 that puts a scythe in their hand. I think there's totally a chance of that. I don't think it's guaranteed, but I think there's totally a chance of that. And then the last note I wrote down from someone in my chat says, what if it's not a dagger and it's just a great sword that's really thick? It's just a really fat, chunky, stubby great sword. Or like an actual person is, like that big. And it's just like, Cloud Strife swinging this thing around. Also a possibility. But that's it. That's really, I feel like I've got less on this one. But yeah, it's just, knife makes everybody think assassin. And that's going like wildfire on the subreddit right now. And then bendy knife makes a lot of people think ritualist. And then it's like, okay, if that's ritualist, and then we can just remove necromancer from the pool of icons, then what are all the others, you know? And if it is a dagger, and it is assassin, and it is going to thief, and thief's not getting cards, and then the cards are going to someone else, and someone else is like, a lot of people are thinking on the subreddit the cards are going to Mesmer if this is going to thief. So if Mesmer is taking the cards, then who's getting the banjo? And it's just like the ding, 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 ding. And just like everything is getting bounced around. Cards is Revenant with Saul. Yeah, I've seen some people guess that, yeah. Like as always, Revenant's a wild card because they can channel the legend of anything. Saul de Alessio. Really quick for people who don't know this bit of the story. There is a guy at the end of Raid Wing 4 that is getting tormented by a demon. And the guy is named Saul de Alessio. And he dies at the end of the raid wing. You fight the demon and free him, and then his spirit moves on. He's been chained there for a long time. But he tells you that he was a gambler and just like ruined his life near the end before he got captured. So yeah, it could represent Saul. Talking about the cards, not the knife. I'm not sure. I mean, that was like a low point in his life. That wasn't like his main thing, but yeah, it's there. It's a gotcha engineer. Yeah, I saw some people saying the gambling cards is going to be the engineer, and they're going to use a slot machine device. I think that's it. All right. At this point, I'm just talking in circles. That is all of the main bullet points that I thought had some value that would be worth sharing. That's everything I've written down. And once again, I pass the question off to you. What do you think this is? Do you think I'm right on any of these guesses that we've collected? Or do you think all these are wrong and you got some other really good idea? And what are the reasons that you think that might be it? Put it in the comments section down below. Fight you there.